And Gia?
Yeah, well, he caught up with her in the alley where you guys left the money, and she admitted to being the blackmailer, but apparently she had no idea that Ted was killed.
You sure?
Well, Lucky is. He said all she saw was Emily leaving the rave and going to the motel room. I guess she figures Emily's just some spoiled rich little brat who parties way too hard.
And who'd spend anything to keep her parents from finding out
Well,
that...
Emily's spending days are over.
How do you mean?
Well, he said he convinced her to back off.
Well, that's great. So we finally caught a break, and the rest is still a secret, so no one but the four of us knows what really went down.
5. Emily told 1.
You've got exactly 5 seconds to get out.
I'm not leaving.
You want to hear how loud I can scream?
Oh, yeah? Why don't you go ahead? I'm sure your employers would be real interested to know that you've got a boyfriend in the room.
You're not my boyfriend.
Oh, look at that. It's morning now. Think they'll figure I was here all night?
Get out.
You've got 2 choices. You either scream and lose your job, or you can hear me out. It's your move.
How do we know that Juan's not going to say anything about Ted?
He won't.
Elizabeth, the guy lives with a cop.
So?
Look, he and Taggart are pretty tight.
Listen, Juan would never tell Emily's secret. He's been trying to gain back her trust.
And too bad she did, you know?
Emily needed to tell him. It's been tearing her up inside. And if there's any hope for the two of them, then she needs to be completely honest with him.
Look, I'm sorry. You know, Emily and Juan reuniting does not change the fact that we're stuck with a body.
I thought you and Lucky got rid of the body.
Well, it's complicated.
Like how?
You don't want to know.
Yes, I do. You have to tell me. We're all in this together.
Okay, look. We stashed a body in a freezer at Windermere. It was only supposed to be temporary until the search died down.
Died down, Nikolas. This is an undercover cop.
I know. Look, I wish we'd have known that from the beginning.
What are we gonna do?
We can bury him. I mean, I think the police will still keep searching.
There are so many loose ends.
And one to only tie them all up. We need to find Ted's killer.
I already admitted I was blackmailing Emily Quartermain. What more do you want?
To take you to a rave?
You must be pretty desperate busting in here just to ask me for a date.
It's not a date. It's more like a deal.
What kind of deal?
I'm looking for somebody who might have seen Emily go into the motel. Maybe you saw him at the rave or in the motel parking lot.
Look, I got some cash. You got my word I'd lay off your precious little friend. As far as I can see, we're even.
You go to raves anyway, right? Why can't you help me out at the same time?
I must have missed the part where I'd be interested in helping you out.
It'll be easy. All you have to do is tell us if you recognize anybody. And who knows? Maybe you'll have a good time and surprise yourself.
What's the big deal about finding this guy anyway? What, did he con you or something?
Why do you care?
You're right. I don't. Your friend got into trouble. She can find her own way out.
Fine. Thank you for nothing.
Anytime. You can't go down the front stairs. What if the O'Lears see you?
You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do, aren't you?
So Emily told you.
Yeah. No thanks to you. Don't worry, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Especially with Taggart. Juan, that means there are no slip-ups even when you're at home.
I would never do anything that would get Emily in trouble.
Good. It's more than that. It's more than not telling Juan. It's sticking with the group and going along with whatever the rest of us decide.
No problem. I just want to help.
Good. What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Lucky. So, did you speak with Gia?
You went to see her again?
We figured she might be able to ID the killer. So we went back to try and convince her to come to another rave with us.
Well, how much did you tell her?
Only that we were looking for somebody that might have tailed Emily and Ted.
Did she seem suspicious?
Believe me, she doesn't have a clue.
Good.
Well, it's not so good, actually.
Wait. Why is it not so good? Why?
Because she's not going to help us.
Well, I'm sorry.
I could have told you that Gia would blow you off.
Well, it was worth a try. I mean, she's obviously into taking risks.
Well, I figured that she'd be up for one more.
Okay, let me ask this. How or why do you guys think Gia could ID the killer?
Well, she followed Emily and Ted to the motel room, and obviously so did the killer.
She sat in her car and said that she watched him from the parking lot.
Our guess is she probably saw the guy even though she had no idea who he was, so we figured if we can bring her to the rave, maybe she could recognize him again.
Or her. It could be anybody at this point.
So if G's not up for it, I mean, what's her next move?
What about Sherry?
Sherry?
Yeah, I mean, she goes to a lot of raves, and she told us, she told us Ted's name.
That's right. She said that she had seen him a couple times before.
Right.
You know what? I bet she'd remember the people he hung out with.
No, wait, you guys, how would Sherry help us?
Juan could ask her.
Okay, I'll do it.
So you'll ask her?
Yeah. What's the plan?
Well, assuming Sherry says yes, we'll all go to the rave together.
Everyone except Emily.
Wait a minute, if you guys are going, so am I.
No, Elizabeth is right. This is really too big of a risk.
But it's a risk for everybody, Lucky.
What if the killer recognizes you? He might think you're looking for him.
It would be better if you stayed home.
All right, guys. Let's get ready to find a killer.